Let's go to One Nation leader and founder Pauline Hanson, who joins us from her home in Queensland. Good to talk to you, Pauline. You've had a hell of a week and a hell of a day. Let's start off with Brian Burston, your former colleague, your former One Nation colleague, and he sued you for defamation. He won a $250,000 payout. You appealed it. You've won that appeal today, so you don't have to pay him that money. And he has to pay your costs. You must be very well satisfied.
Chris, you have no idea how I felt today. It's not only myself, but my family and my close friends have been on this journey with me for the last 4 years, especially when I lost the case last year, apart from legal costs and also $250,000 to pay him. And so I had to appeal it. So it was full bench of federal court, 3 judges, unanimous, came down with this finding today. So I'm just elated. I feel like a great weight's been lifted off my shoulders with this. And Chris, it was all about, defending 2 women that he sexually harassed. And, I stood up and fought for them and their rights. And they were great witnesses. The judge agreed that he, believed their case, what they said. And it's a shame that it's gone on like this. So anyway, I'm just pleased that it's over. I'm so happy it's over.
Yeah, there were horrible allegations about sexual harassment and worse in the workplace. And all that was pulled out in court and obviously proven to the extent it justified your comments. I noticed that Brian Burston is saying he's looking at appealing to the High Court. Does that concern you?
I don't think it'll happen because you had the full court. You had the 3 federal court judges that have come down with this decision. Now, they've looked at the evidence, they've gone over it, the case that was put before them, and they have come to this conclusion. Chris, he's only can seek leave to appeal to the High Court, whether they allow him or grant him that. And based on the evidence that came out in the findings from these 3 court judges, I don't believe they will give him leave to appeal to the High Court. But I'm not a barrister, I'm not a QC, but that's my understanding. I think I've been through enough court cases in my lifetime that I've got a pretty good understanding of the law and the way it works. Yeah,
I've seen a bit of this too, and there's politics involved. I tend to agree with you. I'd be surprised if he appealed. Yeah. I think it gives him something to say today without admitting defeat, and then he just goes away and lets this run. What does it say about One Nation,
Chris,
though, when you're having these sorts of...
He'd have to find the money also. So, he'd have to present the money to actually be able to fund his case, pay for the costs, and that's another thing as well. This whole case with the $250,000, I was up for $500,000. It's a lot of money involved in this, and that's why it's a big relief to myself as well. So he's got to find that money.
The lawyers always win. Kids, go do a law degree. Grandparents, get your grandchildren to get a law degree. Or if you're like me, marry a lawyer.
I know. That or a tradie. I tell you what, the tradies are doing pretty good these days too.
Absolutely, we need more of them. Now let's get on to more, talking about defamation. Your former colleague, former leader in New South Wales, at least, he's still a colleague, Mark Latham, is being sued by Alex Greenwich, an independent MP in New South Wales. Some horrible things that Mark Latham tweeted about him. Is that why that you basically changed the executive of One Nation in New South Wales to dump Mark Latham as leader?
Let me make it quite clear to people. People think that I've actually dumped Mark Latham out of the party and as the member of the parliament. I haven't. Not at all, So he's still a member of the party. He was elected under One Nation for an 8-year term, and I hope he goes on to do his job. As I said, why I brought Mark into the party was that I said, Mark, you've got a lot to offer politics. Yeah, and he has. He's brought down some great policy.
But you upended your structure here to get rid of him as leader.
No. That's what he says. The state executive is all the same. Same state president, same state director, same state secretary. Nothing's changed in another member on the executive. What I've done is put myself on the executive as the registered officer, and the deputy registered officer has joined me, plus a former state member and also another member who lives in New South Wales. So the fact is we've expanded it to actually give them some direction and to actually help them move forward with the party in New South Wales.
All now, right, under the leadership of Mark,
we've gone backwards.
Right, yeah,
we've gone backwards.
Okay.
So I've actually have said this is not good enough. So I've actually said we need to actually focus on where we're going as the party.
All right, you're getting into the reasons there, which I was driving at. Now, to a double-barreled question then to finish, does this show that whatever organisational structure you have in other states, in the end it's Pauline Hanson who has the ultimate control of the One Nation party? And do you think Mark Latham will stay with One Nation, or will he just pocket that seat and go off as an independent?
No, look, I hope Mark stays with the party because I think he's great as a politician and he holds the both major political parties to account, and that's what it's all about. And, you know, I have had no takeover of the party. I've handed it straight over to them, and the last 4.5 years I haven't intervened at all. But when we've gone from 225,000 votes in the federal election down to 83,000 in the state election, that's 62% loss, I've got to ask questions. So therefore you've got to actually start saying, where is the party going? Chris, I haven't put nearly 30 years into this party to see it on the slide. You know, I'm here as the president, as the CEO of this organisation. You know, you want me to wear when we have losses, but when I actually intervene and I want answers, then you actually have a go at me. No, everyone's answerable to, you know, what we want to achieve, and I want to achieve, you know, to be a party that's strong, united, and that's actually going to make the major political parties accountable. So I hope Mark stays. I've heard no word he's going to go anywhere, so I hope he does the job for the people of New South Wales that have elected him.
I don't think anybody's having a go at you, Pauline. We're intrigued to know what's gone on between you and Mark Latham. You're both, you know, just powerful, cut-through politicians. It was an unusual partnership, and it's interesting to see this development, but we will watch in the future, and thank you for joining us.
If people want to have a go at me, all partnerships break down. How many people have had marriages out there, thought they married the right person, and it's been a breakdown in the marriage? How many? So anyway, don't criticise me, but I'm doing my job as president of this party, and I will keep asking the questions and tough questions.
Good on you, Pauline. Thanks for joining us.